So, this video is a weird one. It's very, very personal for me, and it's not something I think I have ever openly spoken about on here, on my blog, and if there's very, very few people I've spoken to this about or who know like the full journey or like my mindset or anything with this. So this is really strange, and yeah. I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and a lot of you know, may or may not know that, I don't know. And what comes with that is a lot of side effects, and the one that I'm going to be kind of talking about today is excess facial hair, which is something I have dealt with for the better part of 20 years now. So when I was around 12 or 13, that's when I kind of hit puberty. I can't remember the exact age, but it was around about that time, and up until that point it was fine, like obviously nothing too crazy. I don't even know what I mean, like nothing too crazy about what am I talking about? So yeah, so I hit puberty around that time, and it was kind of at that point that I started noticing that I was getting facial hair, and at the time I was like, I'm sure that's normal. That's like I've hit puberty, surely this is normal, it's fine. But as time kind of went on, I think I began to notice more and more that it was happening to me, but it wasn't necessarily happening to my friends. And I wasn't the only one that noticed that. Obviously you were in a school with people, and kids are mean. There was already a bunch of people that were bullying me at that time. It wasn't a very happy time of my life. It wasn't the best time of my life. And I mean, that's a whole other story really, but there were kids that were already bullying me, and obviously they picked up on it, and they, you know, would make little comments, say little things, and obviously they were starting to say things, but it was one of those things that I was like, do you know what, this just comes with everything else they say, it's fine. But it got to a point, I had a boyfriend who I won't name, obviously. We were friends first. He was my boyfriend. He was very, very cute. He was lovely, and you know what, we stayed friends for a long time, all the way through college as well. He's a great guy. As far as I know, he's still a great guy, but when I knew him, he was a great guy. And yeah, I really, really liked him. He was a nice guy, but he was sort of in the same kind of group as me, where he wasn't popular. Him and his friends got picked on a bit as well, and I think like it is what it is. Like I said, kids are horrible, they're mean. And he had actually come to school with, I think it was a fractured arm. I don't think it was broken, but it was a fractured arm. He had it in like bandages and a cast. And then one day, sort of couple of weeks after this, he just sort of came into school one day and just came up and said, I don't want to be your boyfriend anymore, I'm dumping you, basically, essentially. Obviously I don't know if that was the right wording. This was like 16 years ago nearly now, so who knows. But I was obviously really, really upset. He wouldn't say why. He just said, no, I don't want to be your boyfriend anymore, I don't love you anymore. You're obviously devastated when you're that age and your boyfriend breaks up with you. And my best friend Beth, who's still one of my best friends, she walked home with him from school every day. They'd known each other since they were like in playgroup sort of thing. And she managed to get out of him why he'd broken up with me. And basically, what we kind of didn't realise at the time is his arm had been refractured again. And his arm had been refractured by the guy bullies in our year during PE, because his girlfriend had, and I quote, more facial hair than Hitler. Oh, it's still, 16 years ago, it still kind of gets me, but yeah, this poor guy he was the sweetest guy in the world. He was lovely. He was getting picked on and literally physical violence against him because I was his girlfriend and I had facial hair. And I felt so horrible. And I mean, my best friend being my best friend, bless her, she pushed him over a hedge when he told her. Fractured arm and everything. I was like, Beth, no, you didn't need to do that. But I love you, but you didn't need to do that. But I just felt so horrible, and I remember going home from school and my mum was just like, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to go and get like have something done about it? Do you want to get it waxed? We can have a look at like bleaching. We can try different alternatives for you. And I just said, no, I don't want to. This is me. This is who I am. They can deal with it. And me and my family are very stubborn. If there is something that we know we should do, but we don't feel like we should have to do it, or we don't want to do it, or we are very good at digging our heads in the sand, then that's what we'll do. And I think that's exactly what I did. I just stuck my head in the sand and I got my stubbornness out and said, I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to do it. So I was very, very stubborn. I was like, no, no. And yeah, it just carried on from there. There was always little jibes and everything. There were always photos that I looked at that I didn't like, and because there was something there like that, there was a lot of stuff, and this has just gone on and on and on throughout the years, and I have never done anything about it. And I think this is one of my biggest regrets, that I have never ever done anything about this. All I've done is I shave it, which I should not do, and I know I should not do that, but that's all I've ever really done. And it's just been one of those things where I've just been like, okay, this is me, whatever, it's fine. And do you know what? That is good in a way, because there are a lot of things where I just say, you know what, this is me, take it or leave it. Like, this is just who I am, and I will stick to that. And I think that's good if it's something you like about yourself. For me, this was something I hated. I still hate it, still here. I hate about myself, and it's something I am so conscious of, and it's something that I am very, very aware of. And if there's days where I feel like, there's been times where I've gone out for lunch with my best friend even, and I've sat there with my hand on my chin a lot of the time because I feel like it's showing, or it's a little bit overgrown, or I'm just really conscious about it that day. There will be times where I do that, and it's stupid, because it's like, why are you being stubborn over something that you don't like? Why are you not doing anything about this? And in my head, part of me is still very much like, I shouldn't have to pay out to have it waxed or, you know, threaded or lasered or anything, because other people don't like it. And I mean, nobody has said anything about it to my face for a very, very long time. And you know what, Adam, my husband, obviously doesn't care. He doesn't say anything about it. He's never said anything about it, so it's obviously not a thing for him. And like my best friend is always like, you don't notice it, like you really don't. But then there's other people in my life who've said like, oh, I have noticed maybe it's a little bit worse lately and stuff. And it's something that I am very, very conscious of. And it's something that I do hate about myself. It really is something that I hate. And there's even, I mean, I didn't even do anything about it for my wedding. And that kind of ties into it being one of my biggest regrets, because there would be wedding photos that I look at and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you an idiot? Why have you not sorted this out sooner? You hate this about yourself. It's something that's easily fixed. Like, what is wrong with you? And I get so frustrated with myself, but I still haven't done anything about it. And I think it's only been in the past year where I was diagnosed with PCOS last year, and that was a sudden kind of light bulb moment, like, this is why I have this. And you know, I say I haven't had comments to my face. I've had so many comments online. Like, I've been blogging for 7 years now, almost, I think it is. And I've had some horrendous things. Like putting comments on my blog, like on YouTube. I've had some really horrendous things because of this. And annoyingly, instead of making me go, I need to get this sorted, it's gone, no, it's made me even more stubborn to not do anything, which is just stupid. It's really stupid. And I'm just my own worst enemy with this. But I feel like, yeah, where I have got diagnosed with PCOS, and I mean, that is a whole other roller coaster of emotions in itself, and something that I will talk about one day. I've written a whole blog post about it, so I'll link that below if you are interested, but I'm sure I will do a video on it one day. And I've been dealing with that a lot and coming to grips with that and learning how to manage that as much as possible. And I think in the back of my mind I was like, if I can manage this, maybe it will go away, maybe it will just go. Again, but it's got to that point where it's like, it's not going anywhere. And I've come to the terms with that now. I've come to terms with the fact that I have PCOS. That is a part of me. That's something I'm going to have to manage for the rest of my life. And that comes with this. And I think I finally kind of got that kick and that mental slap to get something done about it, which is why I'm talking about it now, and it's probably why I've never spoken about it before, because my justification for never having done anything about it from before is not good enough. The fact that I'm too stubborn is not a good enough excuse for how leaving it like this and feeling the way that I do about it. So yeah, I've had my mental slap, and I am actually on Wednesday going to get my face threaded for the first time ever, and I am shitting myself. I'm really nervous about it. I think because I don't know what to expect. I've never had anything threaded before anyway, but they're going to do the full face, so the eyebrows, my sideburns, and I'm going to do a separate clip in a few minutes just to kind of show you all the close-ups of what I deal with. It's kind of okay-ish now, not ideal, but I feel like I can't get rid of it because it's getting done on Wednesday. But yeah, so it's going to get threaded. We're going to see how it goes. I am really scared about the pain. I don't know what it's going to look like at the end, like how it's going to feel. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I don't know. It's a very, very weird sensation, and I turned 30 this year, and it's taken me until now to do something about it, and I don't think I will ever fully forgive myself for not doing something about it sooner, because of everything that's been said about it, because of what's happened with everything. And just like I said, there'll be pictures I see of myself, there'll be selfies I take on my phone that I want to post on Instagram about like beauty looks that I've done, because I love doing makeup and this is what I do on this channel. But I won't post it because there is stuff there and I'm petrified of what people will say. So don't think I'll ever forgive myself for not doing something about this sooner. I think I'm an idiot for not doing something about it sooner, and I'm just so pleased that I'm doing something about it now. So I thought I would kind of sit down and talk about it. I will kind of bring you along with me, show you like the before, the after, and do it kind of and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is really weird for me to do, and I don't know, I feel very strange about it, but let's take a look. So you can see here, I don't think it's like, oh yeah, it's focusing a little bit more, like I've got a lot of kind of sideburnage going on, which kind of comes down, and I found previously when I've like shaved that, for example, my makeup just hasn't sat over that area as well. And then as we come down, you can see, if I go under the chin, we've got some lovely stubble coming up here. We have some random pieces coming out here. We've got this little area here which always comes up with a load of like bits of hair. My chin generally is very, maybe if I go into a little bit more light, very kind of stubbly, and yeah, you've got like a top lip mustache going on there, and it's generally the same on the other side as well. So I mean, that's a little bit more of a close-up, which is weird for me to do. I'm not too usual about close-upping on that kind of thing, but yeah, that's just kind of going to show like a little bit of a before, what I'm kind of dealing with, and we will see what it's like after. Okay, so this is done. My face hurts quite a lot. We started with threading, and she threaded all my eyebrows, so they've actually got like a shape and they're pretty tidy for probably the first time in my entire life, which is weird. But like that wasn't massively bad in terms of the threading, and that's probably the part of my face that hurts the least. And then she started threading here, and oh my god, just no. She did a couple of bits and I was like, I can't, this is so bad. And she did say she was like, waxing is less painful, like obviously it still hurts. She was like, but it's over and done with quicker, whereas threading is like doing 2 or 3 hairs at a time. So we did switch to waxing, so she waxed kind of like she waxed the rest of that side. She waxed my mouth, like my lip, the side of my lips, obviously the other side burn, like all of my chin. She did all of that. I would take a bikini wax over a face wax any day of the flipping week. Not that I want to put anybody off, because
one of the reasons I wanted to do this was if anybody else is like the same as me and has facial hair, just kind of give an experience to somebody who's actually sorting it out for the first time, you know, almost in her 30s. And yeah, so I don't want to put anybody off, because do you know what, my face is sore now, but it will be fine, and I'm not necessarily going to have hair on my face for the next 3 to 4 weeks, which is insane to think about, that I'm not going to have to worry about it for that long. So yeah, it was sore, it was painful. My top lip is probably the sorest, and she did say that's where you're kind of like the most sensitive, so that's probably where it's going to hurt the most. But also my chin, underneath my chin, that really hurt. But it is literally like, okay, strip, done, move on, you know, what have you. And she did say it's probably going to be sore for me today because obviously it's my first time. The hair was a bit coarser, and you know, it was probably more of a shock than anything. But yeah, I'm so glad I had it done. I'm obviously going to wait for everything to kind of cool down, and we'll kind of come back and we'll take a bit of a closer look. But yeah, it feels strange. It's probably going to feel even stranger once like the redness has calmed down and my face has stopped hurting. Okay, so I decided to do it today because the redness has gone down and I just really wanted to. My top lip is still a little bit sore, but I think it's because, I don't know how I, but there's a couple of little bits that look kind of like they bled a little bit when things came out, but I mean, that's fine. I cannot quite express how happy I am. I just keep looking at my face and I'm like, I feel like a completely different person. Yeah, it's weird. I thought I would be happy, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna make a difference. Like, I'm obviously not gonna be so conscious, but I feel really emotional about it, and I just, like, there is nothing there anymore, like nothing on my top lip, which is the first time in my entire life I can say there is nothing on my top lip, because that is always the area I just didn't do anything with. There is nothing on my chin, like the little bits that I have here that are usually like little tufts that I kind of always enjoyed playing with. Like when I was thinking, I'd always be there like playing with my little tufts. They're gone. Like under my chin, it's all gone. Like, and yeah, my eyebrows, I feel like my eyebrows are weird right now because where they've been tidied up, they look a bit smaller, but they're fine. Like, I'm really pleased with them, but I don't think I can quite explain how I feel. I just feel so much more confident in myself already, and that's crazy to me. I just don't feel like I have to wonder, are people looking at me and thinking, why the hell do you have a mustache, or, you know, do you know that you have chin hair? I don't, it's weird. I just don't know. And I think now the redness has gone down, I'm just so happy. I'm so pleased with it. I'm so happy. Feel just, I know it's so hard to explain, but I just feel so much better about myself. Like, that is just the quickest I've ever felt so good about myself, and I just feel like, you know what, yeah, it hurt, and you know, it was sore, and like my top lip is still a little bit sore, but it is so worth it. Like, I just keep like, the idea of like taking a selfie with like makeup and stuff on tomorrow with no odd bits of hair or mustache or anything is really invigorating. And the idea of going to my in-laws tomorrow evening, and like my mother-in-law has said like a couple of things, nothing bad, but she's obviously like, she's noticed it in the past, and when I initially came off the pill, she said at that point, oh, I feel like it's getting a little bit worse, and I was like, no, I agree with you, it has gotten worse since I've come off the pill. And so to be able to kind of go round tomorrow and see if they like, if she says anything or she like notices. I want to go round and see my mum, but because I've got a cold and she has asthma and they're going away in a couple of days, I don't want to give her my cold, so I'm just like, no, I can't. So there's so many people I just want to go and see and be like, oh my god, look at my face, look at my face. And I can't do. That's just weird. It's really weird. Although I have a feeling as soon as Adam comes home, I'm going to be like, look at my face, look at my face. I'm just, considering how shit I feel at the moment with my cold and so how grotty I feel really good and I feel really happy, and I feel like this is like a whole new chapter, which is so corny and so cheesy and not at all what I expected to feel like. I just felt like, yeah, no, it's gonna get done, it's fine, no worries, like I'll be happy, but I just feel like this is a whole new chapter of me feeling so much more confident about myself, so much more comfortable in my own skin, and yeah, I'm feeling very happy, I'm feeling very comfortable, and I'm just so glad I did it. I can't explain how I feel. It's very, very strange, but in a really, really good way, and I'm just so happy, and yeah, it's definitely something I'm going to continue to do. I've already booked in my next appointment, it's like in another 4 weeks, and we'll see kind of how quickly everything grows again, but yeah, I'm really, really happy. If you are like me and you do get facial hair and you've, you know, been putting off doing something about it, or you just don't know like what your options are, you don't kind of know, you're embarrassed, because I think that's one thing I felt like. I felt embarrassed to go to a salon and be like, can you just remove all this crappy hair from my face? But I mean, when I was speaking to the beauty person today, she was like, you'd be surprised how many people like have it done. It's not a strange thing, and I would just urge anybody who was like me, who was just kind of embarrassed to go and get it sorted or ask questions about it, who just felt really crappy about themselves because of it, who, you know, you're really conscious of it, just do it, go and get it done. It will honestly be one of the best things you ever do, because I don't think I felt like this since I finished the Great Self Run. Which is ridiculous. There's like little things where I keep going like, yes, I've done it, and like there's weight loss and stuff that I'm working on and all of that, but yeah, for me, like I don't think I felt this proud of myself since I did the Great Self Run, and it's a completely different proud, but it's still proud. So I would just urge anybody, if you do have the same issue as me and you do get facial hair and it bothers you, don't be an idiot like me and put it off. Don't be an idiot like me and don't be stubborn and just think I shouldn't have to do anything about it. If it's something you don't like about yourself, just go and get something done, whether it's threading or waxing. I'd advise waxing first. Threading hurts. It hurts. Or you want to look into like laser, which is something I've always said I would look at some point, but it's just quite obviously pricey. Just do it. Bite the bullet. Go and do it. Have the conversation, just get it done. It's like a few minutes of pain, but for the way I feel right now, I would do that every week, hands down. And I would also take a bikini wax over a face wax any day, but that's something completely different. But yeah, I would definitely urge you to get it done and just feel amazing about yourself again, because I think it's one of those things where if you do have it, you do feel really crappy about yourself and you're not confident, you are conscious, there's always kind of something, and because it's on your face, it's like right in everybody else's face, and it's there for people to have a conversation about, and it's there for people to notice, it's not hidden. So that makes it so much harder, and obviously I was always really conscious, it really does affect your self-esteem, and I don't think people kind of ever realise quite how much it might do. Especially for a girl, it's, you know, any little thing that's outside the norm, it gets picked up on with us, and people make comments and, you know, all of that stuff. So yeah, I felt really down about myself. If you're in the same position and you feel like that, I 100% get you. Like, I am here for you. If you ever want to like chat about it or talk about it, like come and find me on my socials and just talk to me. If you want to DM me, that's fine. Like, I'm happy to have that conversation. if you just want somebody to kind of talk through with it. And yeah, it seems like such a small thing, but if you have it, it's the biggest thing, and I'm just so glad it's done now. I feel so much better, and it is something I'm going to continue to do and keep up, because this is the best I've felt about myself in a really, really long time. So yeah. Anyway, I know this was a little bit of a random one, but I just felt like it was so important to do, and it was important for me to do. And for me, it's if anybody else is in the same position, I really wanted to kind of share my story and, you know, share what I've kind of gone through and sorting it out. And yeah, so obviously if you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all again next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.